Hello, guys. Welcome once again to another review on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And today we're going to be talking about episode 22 of season 6. Before we go ahead, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you click on the subscription button down below to subscribe to our individual YouTube channels. And make sure you drop a like and comment on our videos. So, today's episode, one thing I'm going to say about today's episode was that it was one of the most difficult things for me to do, watch it. I was watching it and I had to go off and come back and go off and come back because it was so hard for me to watch. I don't know whether anybody felt like that because I did feel like that during the episode.
Well, yeah, I kind of felt that too. It was a lot going on. It was a lot to digest. You didn't know where the storyline was going, and it was just so many things going on. But I was still sipping my little tea. That's all I could say. I was intrigued.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm surprised you had trouble watching it.
Not like I didn't enjoy it. I had trouble watching it because it was just too, probably I'll say, maybe just too toxic for me. That's what that was why
Oh, I
that's why
understand.
I found it difficult to watch. Not because it was an interesting episode. You had a lot of things to look out for. Quite all right. But it's
Yes.
just so many things. So let's just go ahead and talk about the episode. Firstly, I want to get this out the way. We got Kimmy's gift in today's episode. But I want to ask, please, has anybody seen this gift after? Has
No,
anybody
I
seen this
haven't
gift
seen.
after?
No, I have not seen that.
Because
They
I want
have
to know
so many
because we've seen
cars.
it on the episode, but I've never seen it on Kimmy's page. I've never seen her driving it. I don't know. Did the gift disappeared after the episode?
They all seem to have so many cars. Marsau and Letitia have several cars too. I don't understand why these people have so many cars.
Like they have so many cars in that their small house.
Right.
Wow. Wow. It's amazing that they have this so many cars in this small house. Like, how would you be having that much cars? Well, but even if I don't, well, I don't stay with them. I don't live with them. So she must have given it once in a while. Well, considering the fact that she said and he said that she has always wanted a Jeep. She is not someone that wants to drive, small cars. She wanted a Jeep. I expected that, when you want something that you got something you've always wanted. Of course, it would be the one thing that would always be what you're gonna be driving.
Unless they
Well,
were not showing the car because they knew that this episode was going to air. But now that it's aired, we still haven't seen. Well, I guess it just aired yesterday. So maybe they'll start showing it on Instagram. That is, if they still have it.
Yeah, and back to the thing on a person having a lot of vehicles. I mean, for me being a person who had a lot of vehicles, um, it was because once I paid it off, I wasn't trading it in for $500 when I just invested over $20,000, $30,000 in paying it off. It just didn't make sense to me. So what I did as my daughters got older and they were like, okay, I'm gonna go to college, I gave them a car. Here, take this car with you, that way you can get your job and you have a safe way there and from your job to the dorm and back, and then come home and visit. You know what I'm saying? But the kids that decided they didn't want to go to college, I gave them a 30-day bus ticket. for, public transportation for 30 days, because I figure you want to figure it out. So people do have more than one car, especially if you paid it off. You know, Trading in cars these days doesn't make sense.
Someone in the comment section said, "Now you know that that was a rental."
Could be.
that that's shady to them, like very, very shady, very shady. Well, let's go ahead and now talk about the main thing of today's episode, right? Now, this is Kimmy after the whole event. Poured the water, Marsau running from and then and did you see the way that Kimmy shoved um what's her name? Shoved KeKe. Did you guys see when she shoved Kimmy? I don't know whether in the process of pushing
Oh,
her.
shoved KeKe. Shoved her. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, yeah, I saw that. That was, I don't know, maybe she was confused because I don't think she was out there, right? Didn't she come from the house when she heard the ruckus? So maybe
yes.
she didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I
But
seen
her
that. You
but her
know,
first instinct was to go against like against KeKe for KeKe. No questions asked, nothing. It already shows that in my head I'm already picking a side. That's
well,
just it.
it just shows basically that uh Kimmy's loyalty is more to Letitia than to KeKe. Because remember she did make that comment about, well, if I knew that they were beefing, she wouldn't have got the invite.
Um, but this whole episode, right? When later on they were inside and KeKe was telling KeKe and um Tisha were talking. I don't know. I felt like Tisha was trying to make it more than it was, and I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like how Masao and his wife Tisha handled the whole issue. I know that yes, Kiki, yes, went overboard, but really, let's be realistic. What reality TV show have we watched that we've not seen this kind of thing? What have been thrown on people? We've seen people being shoved in the swimming pool. We've seen this sort of things. This was even better.
Well, it was sort of like a baptism. you know I mean, geez, that it wasn't, well, it was kind of funny, but then I felt bad for her because I mean it went everywhere, up the nostrils and everything. Like, geez, but yeah, I don't know
And
what I would have did in that situation on either end.
and the way that after stuff, and I love the way that he um Melody went to her and was like, you know what, was how did Tisha hurt you? Did Tisha do anything? Like, you shouldn't have given. I understand where Melody was coming from. A lot of people were like, Melody was kind of dumping, because I went on Twitter and a lot of people were like, Melody uh tried to dump KeKe because of the embarrassment. I'm like, no, that is what a true friend will tell you. Because in in Melody's mind, you have given them the ammunition to say what they want to say. If the train of water did not come, then Latisha and Masa would not have anything to run with. But because of the train of the water came up, then now they have everything to run around with and say what they want to say about the situation. And I feel that that was where um Melody was coming from, that she shouldn't have allowed herself get to that place where she took up that cup and flinged what she flinged on Tisha, because now they would want to capitalize on it, which happened. And I didn't feel like it was a friend abandoning her friend. I felt it was a friend telling her friend the truth of the matter, like, yeah, as much as I'm sticking beside you, which she also did. And a lot of people forget that she did not do it in the public eye. She didn't do it in presence of everybody. She took her aside. They were aside. She first made sure she was good. She was like, you know what? Are you okay? Breathe. So that she would calm down first. So that was, for me, that was a good job from Melody. Like, she did a great job as a friend. Even if a lot of people didn't like how she put it, like, oh, you shouldn't have done that.
Well, I mean, I agree. If I'm in an explosive situation, somebody comes to me and tries to calm me down without saying calm down, because that only makes me more furious. But if you're telling me, hey, breathe, what could you have done differently? And why would you let somebody take you out of your character, your normal character, and then
Mm-hmm.
show them this monster side of you? You know, Look, that's
Right.
why I had to tell my husband, when I get upset, I need to tell him it's time to go, because I'm one of those people. I don't talk. I just present rage when I'm upset. I don't talk. And if I do talk, I'm saying it once, just once. Whether you hear it or you don't hear it, I'm gonna say it once because I'm grown. But after that, mm, yeah, I have to say, hey, it's time to go. you know. But yeah, I felt like, yeah, that was being a friend. Because actually nobody wants to catch a case.
Yeah.
But I'm glad. I agree. That I'm glad Melody still made her accountable. And that's what
Mhm.
somebody does that really care about you.
Right.
Um, do I feel sorry for Tisha? No. The way that they, try to make even Kimmy, when Kimmy was saying, "Oh, I felt her shaking," like that had something to do with drug addiction. Like when people are mad or getting to the point where they're ready to fight, some people
Yeah, they
shake,
shake.
sweat, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Stutter. Like so many things happen with your body when you're at that point,
Yeah.
but for them to zero in on everything that happens now is going to be, oh, that's because of drugs, that's because of drugs, that's because of drugs. Had nobody knew KeKe was on drugs, they would just say, oh, she's crazy, or this or that, it would be something else. So just because people know that that was a part of her history, that's going to be the go-to. Like she said,
Mhm.
this was built up, you know
Right.
and when you already have such a bad, relationship with a person, and the nail is hitting the head and you're doing the work and you're seeing that you don't deserve that, and you've had to fight all your life to prove that you were worthy or whatever, and a person just um makes you feel like small, that probably was the tip of what was already there. Because she was right, you mad at me, but you should be mad at him. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
It didn't make any sense why Tisha had the attitude she had. And then when she's telling the story to Kimmy, from what we already know from the YouTube streets and hearing tapes and other interviews, from what we already know, for Kimmy to listen to Tisha's lies, half truths, and only her version, is beyond me. You're fibbing. You know that she was not the one running around trying to get information. You know that your makeup artist and KeKe's makeup artist is involved in this. You know that. You know it was brought to her. That's why she called you to meet up with you. But you can't do nothing without Marceau. She couldn't go meet KeKe without Marceau because she can't stand on her own, you know. And I like Tisha and them's cousin because at the end of the day, she was looking at Marceau like, I really can't stand you, but I gotta accept you because you're my cousin's husband, type of thing. And she was still standing firm on how she felt about, KeKe's other points are valid. And she don't think it has nothing to do with that. But it was very clever for Marceau to say, oh, everybody's lying on KeKe. The news, the Crime Stoppers, the police. Stop it, Marceau. Nobody's falling for that flyby. He tried to throw us off with that one. It ain't about that. You know what I mean? It's about proving it, and they haven't proven that. And KeKe has never been arrested for that, allegedly, have I seen. And but Destiny has. Destiny has. So my thing with them is they're good at deflecting it, and I'm sick of them. So I don't feel sorry for Tisha. I understand why Mel said that. What could you have done differently? Just because at the same time, yes, we're only human and sometimes things happen, but at the end of the day, we gotta be accountable for what we want out there and what people see of us.
I literally, like you said, Ladon, Latisha's cousin was my queen for the episode. As much as I was surprised, I was like, who is this new addition again from the squads again on the show? But I did like what she said. I feel like she too knows that Masao is not really that of a serious person, because she stood up for KeKe all through the episode, and she rebuked them for trying to use the addiction thing, saying, oh, she's high on drugs. And when he said that, when he was saying that stuff of, oh, everybody's lying on KeKe, the Crime Stoppers, news, these, I'm like, oh, so that means we should also believe the stories about you too. If you want to talk about, there are so many things about KeKe, and therefore all of them are not lies, of course it should also be attributed to you. That same thing applies to you, because we've heard allegedly about a lot of things about you too, Marcel, about you, about Letitia, about the kind of business you run, allegedly. But you come out here every day telling us that they are all lies and people are just trying to gossip, people are trying to bring you down. But now you're saying that we should believe the stories we hear outside about KeKe. On what grounds are you standing on? You tell us not to believe people talking about you, then you say, okay, believe what they say about KeKe. That part, I didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand. And it pissed me off more for when he said, KeKe wants to live Latisha's life. Oh my God. I was like, don't be delusional, please. What if KeKe wants to live Latisha's life? Like, what life does she wants to live? Like, is it the depths? She wants to live a life of depths, the alleged depths.
Or maybe it's the husband always being accused
Oh,
of being a little whore or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a break. I don't think KeKe is jealous of Letitia's life. I mean, Letitia can't think on her own. You know, it's quite obvious of what's going on. You let my man's name keep coming up in conversation with other women being mentioned, I'm going straight to the source. You see what I'm saying? We're going to
mm-hmm.
hold court. No, we're holding court. I'm the judge and the jury. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's getting on the witness stand. You know, but she doesn't have that in her because she's afraid of, I guess, whatever financial comforts that he brings, or, you know, she's afraid of just standing on her own. I don't know what the problem is, but, Marcel, like, seriously, to talk about a woman when she had problems, drug problems, and you look at her now, she looks like she's in recovery. She's healthy. Her speech isn't slurred. Uh, she's not walking around tweaking, you know. She's not walking around stealing wallets out of purses and pickpocketing people. You know what I'm saying? Is she pawning all her jewelry? You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, don't kick women when they're down, even if they have a drug problem and they're trying to build themselves back up. Like, where's the village? If you don't want to be part of the village, then shut the hell up. I don't like, I don't like when men act like this toward women, because you guys are the stronger sex. You're supposed to be here to protect us, not here to crush us down. Society does that enough, you know. So I didn't appreciate how Tisha
The,
sat back and let Marcel keep on talking about her cousin like that without saying, okay, that's enough. Hey, 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 hey.
exactly.
Babe, that's enough.
There, there was a part when they kept on talking. When he kept on talking, I don't know. As in, when I said this episode was very traumatizing for me to watch, I meant it. Like, I had to go back, like, stop watching, come back, because I didn't just like what was talked about. The fact was like, who amongst you here has gone up by 2 a.m. to go and pick her up from the street? Who amongst you here have talked to her for 5 hours trying to tell her to heal from that? Did you see KeKe's face? Did you see Latisha's face? She felt like this is not something you should be telling. But she couldn't tell her husband, keep quiet.
Yeah, but instead, look at her face. She looks so pleased at what he's saying.
Right. We didn't need to know all of that information about her. That was so unnecessary.
Yeah, like, just putting all her business in the streets like that. It's like,
Exactly.
when are you gonna tell him that, hey, babe, that's enough? That, yeah, hey, let's back up off of her. Let's change the subject. You know. But instead,
I
she was quiet.
She was quiet, quite quiet. At that moment, she went so quiet. She was the most quiet she had ever been in this the part, because even I knew it at that moment. I knew that she knew that this is wrong. The place that Marsau was going was utterly wrong, but she had already given the walkway for it, and she couldn't stop it. And by the way, she's not. We've never seen Letitia stop her husband from doing something before.
She was smoking
So
a cigar.
she
Yeah.
just sat down
Yeah.
and listened to every. Like, I was so pissed off, saying that when he said that thing of, oh, who has ever picked her up by 2 a.m. I didn't not need to know that. Nobody asked you to go get into your car by 2 a.m. and go and pick her up. Nobody asked you. You went by yourself. So why are you coming to tell me?
Mhm.
I'm not interested in that information. Then saying how you try to talk her out of it, that, oh, somebody that's in drugs, there will always be drugs. And I'm like, wow. The cousin was looking at him like, wow,
Mm.
this is wrong. He was wrong.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
was totally wrong. I don't think, I'm not a fan of Marsau and Latisha, but this episode, I got reminded why I'm not much of a fan of theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Because you
right.
talk so much about not your business not being out there. You talk, Latisha is out there talking. The only reason why she says she's fighting with KeKe is because KeKe allegedly put her issues out there, and we don't know the truth. Because according to KeKe, KeKe said she tried to call you. You said you're going to meet her up, but you later didn't show up. And you were telling another different version of the story here. That you were like, say it on the phone. We can talk about it on the phone. You said a different story. You are annoyed with KeKe because she's putting your matter out in the public. Everybody is knowing about it. She's going out telling people. But you're doing the same thing. How many people were seated on that table? We had about how many people
Yeah,
seated on that table that didn't know need to know that business, but you did tell them, and you're surprised that your own business to get told on. Like if you do something to somebody, my own is when you always do things, when you have this personality, you have this character, expect that same character from somebody. Don't give energy, and when the energy comes back to you, you start acting like you have memory loss. When it comes back to you, accept, because the person you also did that to had to accept his or her reality. Then you come and look at them now. Tomorrow they'll say we don't talk about people at their backs.
Hmm.
What is this? Were you talking about the person at the person's front? And she'll say, I'm not a hater, I don't hate. Like it's giving hate.
Mm-hmm.
you know
It's giving.
that same conversation that Marcel was having at that table. Would he have been willing to have that same conversation with Kiki's husband sitting there?
Hmm.
You know, just
You
like
know,
he was saying stuff about Courtney, like, yeah, well, hey, you can't cash that check. Courtney is the only one that could cash that check. And then Stormy was asking, hey, are you willing to go toe to toe? And he's like, if I needed to. But yet you ran around the women and another, I think it was Maurice. You ran around them to get away from Kiki's dude.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He just seems like uh, the the biggest dog you got that barks as soon as somebody comes in your backyard. He's trying to run towards your door. He's trying
Hmm.
to beat you in the house.
He ran a couple times. He was like going around, around, around. He was
Yeah,
getting up out of there.
yeah. He didn't want that smoke. But yet your mouth is always trying to cash a check that your ass can't carry.
Hmm.
Knuckle up. You a man. Knuckle up. You talking this big crap to these women, and you don't expect their husbands who love their wives to check you on it.
I,
No,
I I also love I also love the fact that when they were talking, he was like trying to say that when the wife does something, is the husband that is meant to protect the wife, something like that. And for the first time, I literally said, Martell, you did a great job, because Martell had to say it that it's the same thing as a woman's watching another woman call her husband the B word and just sit down there without doing anything, because it was odd. When that the issue came up here, Latisha was so free to talk about KeKe. Her mouth was opening. KeKe is this out. But when it came to that topic, when we were talking about Stormy calling her husband and calling out her husband, Latisha was as quiet,
It's a church mouse.
so quiet. She didn't even say nothing. The only thing I heard her say was, Stormy, do you feel you owe my husband an apology? I'm like, and Stormy said, I don't think so. And she kept quiet. She shut it down.
yeah, Tisha ain't
Everybody
about
was
that life.
surprised because they all said they found it surprising big. Even Maurice was like, if a woman will sit down and watch the husband being called that word without it doesn't happen. You sit down and watch another woman. I still don't know that mathematics that is happening between between Latisha and Stormy that will make her sit so mute and watch her berate her husband, and she's just looking at her. because that mathematics is not really calculating so much in my head. Because I have never heard of it before. I've never seen it happen. It's
I've
either the
seen
woman is
people that
putting back
can't.
at the man.
I've seen people that can't even fight still try. Don't be talking that like that to their men. They still will go out there and get their butt whooped, but you sure ain't gonna be talking like that about their man in their face.
Funny that you guys mentioned it. I just went through this past weekend. And this chick called my husband a MF. And I stood up, and my husband, like, kind of, because he's a big guy, he kind of put his arm in front of me and set me back down. It was like, nah, 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 nah. So I told him, okay, I'm going to give her this pass. But you don't get too many passes from me, because the next time we see each other, I just don't want her to say nothing. And if she does, his arm ain't going to be able to stop me. But I'm going to let
Mm-hmm.
y'all know about it later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll let y'all know about it later. But yeah, it's not that I didn't want to. It's just I got stopped.
Mm-hmm.
To somebody by somebody who said, "Hey, don't let her," because they know how I am. My husband knows how I am. He was like, "Don't let her," because the first thing she gonna do is call the cops. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But
Yeah.
I'll let y'all know how that turns out later. But yeah, I don't understand why Letitia didn't say something, or at least make an attempt.
And she
You
tried to say like she's above it because of her business and she got so much to lose. But she didn't have that same energy at Galentine's. She came in sneakers, ready to fight Mel. She didn't think about having something to lose or her businesses. She don't want to be seen like that. No, it's showing you're a punk and you're scared of Stormy.
well, yeah, she knows who to buck up at, but Tisha
Absolutely.
Tisha ain't about that life.
Well, stop acting like it when it's convenient for you and then want to run back and play the
Exactly. When it's
victim.
not convenient for you. Yeah. That's just it. Don't act out when it's convenient for you. Then when it's no longer convenient, you go back into your shell and be like, oh, I'm not
You're
about
the
that life.
victim.
I'm not.
Why they doing this to me? Everybody hates me. Why?
Someone on the comments said he talked the entire show, even followed Tisha inside to get on camera. The cousin knew Marsau was lying. I tell you, that girl was my hero for today's episode because she wouldn't know.
Yeah,
Like Letitia was even trying to be like, yo, you need to be on our side. She's on drugs, she's on drugs. She was like, no, no, we know KeKe is extra, but going as much as saying she was on drugs, I don't see that. The cousin was never on board with what they were saying. Like she
no.
called out Masao. You would know. You see, I don't know how people say if another family member is looking at Masao like somebody that shouldn't be trusted like that, it says a lot. Yes, we'll classify KeKe like, yeah, they've made us they've created this thing about KeKe and her drug use and everything. But we know that KeKe is clean. Uh, right now. You mention this Crime Stopper thing every time, right? Until today, till today, no charges has been filed, no nothing. We never heard a pimp about that case. I said it in one of my videos I did about this Crime Stopper. So I said I wish, like I literally wish that if, like, the rumors have been going on that Destiny is coming back in the next season. I wish Destiny will come back because I want to see their own reactions to Destiny's Crime Stoppers and KeKe's. I want to see whether there will be a difference because KeKe's own they've been hitting. Even if till today there's no charges, there's no file, there's nothing has been brought up on KeKe. She has been Everything has been quiet about that case. But with Destiny's Own, it's quite alright. We've seen it playing out. I want to see if there will be any difference with how they put it, because the way Marsau kept on talking about it and the way they try to. I'm like, I want to see if there'll be difference, like if they'll act differently or say it differently when it comes to Destiny. Then I'll realize, okay, maybe it's by certain people, because like she always shows us that she changes her character, she changes how warm she can be, how hot she can be for different people. So I guess probably she's gonna be more warmly to Destiny than she's to KeKe.
Mm.
I guess she will be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it, there's one thing I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to ask this question. I wanted to throw it out there. When Melody met up with KeKe and her husband in the garage and everything, they're talking about the incident, and Melody kind of mentioned that probably she should go for a test and show everybody. What did you guys think about that? I just wanted to get everybody's opinion about what that stuff was.
Well, I think I don't. I think people are blowing it out of proportion. I think it was a good question, suggestion, and I think Kiki's answer was a good answer. I'll take it if we take a lie detector. I loved her answer, but what better way to shut a person down? Because they keep going back to her, you know, her drug use. So, what way to shut them down once and for all is to at least take that out the way. So now you don't have that, and let's focus on what we need to focus on. Let KeKe do what she needs to do on that show and show her story and her growth and what she's doing. But as long as they got that and they keep throwing it, yeah, she don't have to really care. She don't have to prove nothing to them, but it's not proving nothing to them, it's shutting them down and proving them wrong. I mean, and making them look stupid. You know, if she doesn't do it, I'm not gonna look at it no way, because I firmly believe that she is clean, because she's on the methadone clinic and they do random urines. I was on the clinic
Yeah.
before, and they do random urines. You don't know when they're gonna do it. So I believe she is clean. But to shut them down just to say blam, I think she should. But I liked her comeback. I'll do it if he do a lie detector. But I don't think Mel had no ill intent with it or behind it. That's just not her nature, you know. I think she just wants KeKe to show them. I think she believes in KeKe. That's why she always checks on her and, try to give her good advice. But she was there when it ended and heard all them keep saying the things they were saying at that table. Mel was listening to all that. They making a butt of it. She said, you need to stop. You got to shut this part down once and for all. And what better way to do that but a clean urine, you know? That's how I feel anyway.
What about you leaving for your girl?
Um, I, I honestly, I was kind of caught off guard that she had a test on her. That's just like, hey, girl, you ain't caught your cycle. Here's a pregnancy test. I was just kind of like, my mouth kind of opened up, like, wow, damn, she was prepared. But, if that's your girl, that's your girl. You know, if you trying to help her, you trying to help her, you know. And yeah, shut everybody down, and yet you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. You know, it's Martell, I mean, Marceau, who needs to prove himself, I guess, to his wife, because I mean, that's the only one who really cares about any of this madness. And evidently, she's satisfied with the answers he's given her. So I was just, kind of on the fence a little bit, but then I kind of got it, because hey, that's her girl. She cares about her.
How about you, shop reality? Oh, is she not here? Shop reality, are you not here? Or it seems like she's not here.
Her mic is
Okay.
off.
Yeah. So for me, what I thought was it was very funny to me. I was shocked when she said, I was like, "Ooh, how did you get from here to here?" But I do understand where she's coming from. Yeah, it might look offensive, but it's the truth. Like everybody keeps joking about my friend's addiction, and I
Right.
Mhm.
know that my friend is okay.
Mhm.
I know
Mm-hmm.
my friend is good, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I just need to prove it to them so as to. I feel it's just like shut up
Mhm.
moment. Like I need you all to just keep quiet. See my friend, she's cool, she's okay. So let's end it. Let's not make it that anytime she does something, anytime she misbehaves, or maybe she acts out of character, it will be attributed to the fact that, oh, and because of this thing that is making her behave like this. It could be that she just wanted to act. It could be that she felt pissed off, or she's so happy, or she's very sad that made her act like that. So I understood where Melody was coming from, asking for it. Although it might come off of as some people like, okay, that was insensitive. But I see it's only when you have, when I say when you see a real friend, is a friend that will tell you or come at you, even when the thing would be brutally painful,
Mhm.
Right.
but we still tell you that, you know what, this is what I feel we should do. This is what I think we should do. As much as it is painful, because um the way your friendship is. Like there are certain level of things I can say to my friend. Okay, I know our relationship. I know how we've grown. I know, okay, fine. If I tell you this, you're not gonna get pissed off. You will understand my perspective. Even if another person sitting in the room hears what I have to say, the person will be looking like, wow, why would a friend say this to this person to her friend? But you that I'm saying it to understands where I am coming from. And I think that that was just the issue, that I believe that the both of them, they've gotten to this level of friendship, and they do understand, and she understood, and she knows that, okay, if I say this to her, she won't get pissed off.
Right. Wasn't Letitia, I mean, excuse me, wasn't KeKe and Melanie friends before Melanie and Letitia?
Yeah,
Um, you said was KeKe friends with Mel first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, that's where Melody's loyalties lie, is with KeKe, because they've been friends the longest. Her and Letitia been going back and forth with stuff. Melanie and Letitia, you know, and then Marcel jumps in it, and KeKe is basically like the underdog. You know,
Mhm.
yeah,
okay,
Mhm.
Talk with Lana said methadone is a hard drug. That's why she won't take anything. I wish Marcel knew how ridiculous he seems saying that.
Mhm. Yes.
He knew how ridiculous he sounded. He just wanted, I think Marcel is a good player. He's a like he knows how to divert your attention from him.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, the question will be, did you remember about the three song? No. Nobody remembered that. The whole episode was now filled up with KeKe, drugs, KeKe, drugs, KeKe, drugs.
right,
We
Mhm.
didn't even remember, okay, what was the cause of this issue? What really prompted the cousin was trying to even say that it was a rumor that was going. So he diverted it quickly. He
Well,
diverted
yeah.
it quickly, and that is, I think, Marsau is a very good, like, he knows, he's a good PR man. Like, he knows how to turn the attention from him to another issue.
Well, he's done that before, when they were tasting the food for Miss Wanda's catering truck. Remember where they were all together? They showed it on that episode when KeKe was like, "Well, I'm about to tell it on." He was like, he just Marcel just started banging the table and standing up, and yeah, you do this and that and the other. You know, he blows it up because he doesn't want the real shit to come out.
Sarah Johnson said they wonder why no one wants them as the center of the show because they are dishonest. They they don't want to reveal anything about them, but they always want to reveal about others. They want to talk about others. They want to go in depth about others. But when it comes to them, vague, vaguer than vague. Even with all these things, we've been watching about the Scots since 2 episodes back now. I still don't even understand anything about them. I still don't get, like, okay, okay, yes, like this is a new information I found out about the Scots, and we've been seeing them for 2 episodes. Last week is about them. This week also is about them. And I still didn't get any new information and be like, okay, fine. Yes, this is a new information. I'm surprised. And I'm getting to learn about this. And one person, oh, I thank God I didn't forget. One person that pissed me off most in this episode was Tiffany.
Oh
Tiffany
yeah.
coming to say, people that don't have anything to lose, they're not, oh man. That statement pissed me the hell off. Like, how do you know KeKe doesn't have anything to lose? Just because you want to run your mouth, like, run the mouth, you run it.
That Tiffany, man, she really thinks she is uppity and better than somebody, huh? She's something. You don't know what that girl got going on in her life. How dare you? Once again, putting down who she is, minimizing like she's not important. Like that's crazy. Knowing Tisha and them allegedly got these big lawsuits and stuff going on allegedly, but you're gonna say somebody got something to lose. I'm just like, they're all delusional. It's like they're really in their own little world in their head. They're all
Mm,
delusional. It makes sense to them.
I don't understand why Tiffany was even in it. And then when you're giving your little interview, you're sitting there, you're smirking. Like you're so happy to put out the negative about somebody else. Like, what's going on with you and Big Lou? Is he coming home? Is he giving you more attention? Like, what's up with y'all? Sometimes I
oh
can't
my,
stand. Sometimes I can't stand Tiffany.
like, oh, that statement. Oh, I'm like, I kept on asking, what is she there? Like, you came with your baby to a barbecue where there is smoke, different kind of smoke. We saw KeKe, Letitia, and her husband puffing out smokes with cigarette, and smokes was coming from the barbecue. And your child, as a newborn, is there. What is it there for? Just because
Why?
you want to
Why was
gossip
she
and
there?
talk?
Yeah, why was she there? I didn't get it. Where was your husband?
Wait, when was the husband back that he has gone off again? The energy she's putting up and talking about KeKe and how bad KeKe is, take that energy and focus on yourself. I think it will do better good, or it will result better effects. than talking about KeKe. Um, Sarah said
Starting to
she's
look
more bothered about the gossip SMH. Hmm.
mm, it's starting to look like she's obsessed with Kiki because she's zoning in on Kiki, 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 Kiki. That's out of Tiffany's mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, Miss Anne said Tiffany's antics were somewhat amusing the first half, very annoying the second half. Oh my god. Like I didn't just understand why she was in this whole cookout. Like she was not important. She just wanted to add her own opinion. Like, man, it pissed me off. But it seems like next week's episode is gonna be very, very interesting. But before we talk about next week's episode, Martell is still in Fletcher's house, open house. And he's still asking for 20 days. That guy be selfish.
Very selfish. I figured he'd be out of there by now, you know?
I was surprised when Fletcher said, "Oh, like you're moving out." I was so shocked that we are still talking about him moving out again. I thought the moving out was done, dusted, over with.
Yeah, he's really pushing that friendship to the limit.
Very thin limits. Very, very thin limits.
He
Fletcher
don't
is a good
he
friend.
don't care. He's selfish. He don't care. It's about him and Destiny have that attitude of you got it better than me, so just deal with it. It ain't gonna hurt you that bad. I have nothing. They have that entitlement. You're supposed to because of who you are, who up you know, it's just crazy.
Well, he should just leave the house so that the poor guy can do with it what he needs to do at the end of the day. But let's talk a little bit about next week's episode before we come to an end. Melody is finally going to be doing her name change in next week's episode. I think for next episode because it looks like it's going to be a little bit of fresh air, except for the fact that Martell has the right to be pissed off over a change of name. Like, I don't get. Please, I don't get. You've been divorced for how many years? You had a whole ex-girlfriend that was public, a very huge celebrity. You were on her show with her. You paraded her as your girlfriend. You have a baby mama that is always on Instagram yapping about one thing or another, and you're pissed off that Melody wants to change her name from you. Please make it make sense because it's confusing to me.
I think it's hilarious because he has the audacity to be upset. Like, dude, you have been D'ing down the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? You have been the biggest little whore in Huntsville, you know? And you got the audacity because somebody wants to legally separate and get their God given name back so they could be done. Let her be done. Grow, Martell, grow. Leave Melanie alone. Damn. I don't understand niggas like that. I just don't. You know, he's a narcissist to the 10th power. But I can't wait
That's
to
what
see what happens.
I literally also can't wait to see what happens. And the fact was like people that are going there, I don't understand why they should be going there. Like you've been divorced. Like what hope do you have? Like was it dreaming that there's hope for them after how many years, so many fights, so many issues, so many embarrassing moments? I don't know what goes on in his head. Like I don't know how he be thinking because his thinking is very surprising. Because how you be thinking that of all things that this lady will still want to have your last name after everything you've put her through.
because in his mind, she's a possession. She's going to always be his. No matter what she thinks she's going to do, he's going to be right there in the shadows. He's a stalker, and he's not going to let her go that easy. I
Oh,
hate to say
I
it,
can't.
but this is what I see.
I can't wait for next week's episode. I am telling you, I can't wait for next week's episode. I also can't wait for next episode to find out what exactly. I know it's because of the issue between KeKe and Latisha, KeKe and Latisha, but I want to know what Melody said that made KeKe be like, and Latisha be like, I don't want to talk about this, trying to work out and all those things. It's only when it comes to Melody she has energy. But I literally want to see what will happen. Oh, is there any person that has anything to like say before we come to an end?
Other than I can't wait to see next week's show.
And I just want to say that people, are just taking things out of the way just because they want to have a reason not to like Mel. But after this, I hope KeKe realizes that all family ain't family and it's just time to move on. You did what you did, move on. Don't give it no more life. Just focus on you and yours. And Kimmi, I still look at her sideways. She's so phony and it's just disgusting. And Marsau, I don't know. Yeah, Stormi, I don't blame Stormi for calling him a Mitch. I blame his woman for allowing her to call him a Mitch because he does act like that. We all think it, but she shouldn't have said it. But the only one that could have put her in her place is his wife, and she didn't. And she had ample amount of times to correct it, and she still won't tell Stormi, you was wrong. I didn't like it, and period. Don't do it again. So we'll see. We'll see what happened next week.
Yeah. Chef Rice, are you back? Wow. Seems like she went off. Anyway, I can't wait for next week. Thank you very much for joining us, Ladon. Thank you very much for joining the panel. Thank you, Living for My Girls, for also joining us today. And if you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can subscribe to Unfiltered Uzo's YouTube channel and also subscribe to ShopRite TV's YouTube channel for more because we have a lot of things on our channel. You can also like and comment on our videos and also turn up the post notification to get notified when we upload a video. We're gonna see you guys same time next week.
All righty, bye y'all.
Bye.
Bye bye.